You look great.
Thank you.
How you feel?
I feel good. I'm glad I'm doing this.
Yeah, I want to introduce you to the world because you've been doing a lot of career moves with Mel on Instagram, and I
Yeah,
know you have the blog as well.
right.
And so we're going to talk about that, and we'll jump into other things. But I definitely want you to talk about the things that you're doing with that right now. Talk about yourself as well.
Sure. The world doesn't know me. My name is Melissa Fleury. I'm originally from New York, born and raised. Like, this is home for me. I did a stint in Dallas. I actually was there for 6 years working. And that really was the place where I grew into womanhood and I grew into knowing what I liked and what I didn't like. But as with a lot of people, you're not sure what your next step is. So when I did come back home, I felt like I finally had the opportunity to really explore a lot of things that I've been, saying that I wanted to do. And one of those things is start a business. But as with a lot of people, it's like, what kind of business do I start? What am I gifted at? What is my purpose? And I knew that career development was something that a lot of people always came to me for. What should I do for my interview? Can you help me with my resume? But I wasn't sure if I could make that a business. And the only way you know if you have a business is if you just started. And I just decided, hey, as I continue to grow in my own career, because entrepreneurship wasn't something I planned on doing full time, I wanted to help you move in your career. So Career Moves with Mel started.
Career moves with Mel. I love it. I love it. So give me a little background of the family.
My family?
Yeah, what's going on with fam?
Sure. So I am Haitian American.
That's what I'm talking about. Sock passe.
Not boule.
Let them know. That's right.
Yeah, first generation. Both my parents and my sister were born in Haiti. I was born in Brooklyn, and so
Me too.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah. What part? What area? Where we at?
I want to say maybe Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy?
But
Okay.
I grew up in Long Island. So,
Fair enough.
That's really home for me. Parents were always good. I always say, like, when you're first generation, like just immigrant and in general, you live in two different worlds because
This is true.
you go to school, you go to work, you interact with your friends, and they're American. But when you come home, you are very Haitian. So it's kind of balancing both worlds of, trying to fit in with everybody else, but then also respecting your culture and what your
It's
parents
like dual
wanted.
citizenship almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was my home life. So I have an older sister, younger brother, and then we're a pretty small family, but tight-knit family.
Are you fluent in Creole?
Not at all, but it's weird because I understand Creole.
Right.
So typical conversations that my mom's speaking Creole to me and I'm responding back in English.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah. So if she asks you if you want to, au manger aujourd'hui, like, did you eat today?
And I'm like, no, I didn't.
Right.
Did you cook?
Right. So what's life for you right now? Because one of the things that we've been talking about a lot on and off, you and I, is content creation anywhere. Like,
Right.
if you guys check this view out, we just chilling, right? We just set this up,
Right.
and we're chilling. So there's, like you said, even before we started recording, that there's really no excuse on creating content, period. So,
Absolutely.
so what are some of the things that you're conceptualizing right now as it relates to creating content, and what have you come up with? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Content is easy, but then in the same breath, content can be very hard because you also want to be strategic. So in essence, when you post on Instagram, before you start thinking about your social media or anything in general as a business, you're free to post whatever it is. So you can post your lunch, you can post your family, you can post where you're going to school, whatever it is.
Right.
But when you're trying to solidify yourself as an expert and within your business, you got to be really strategic, because if I want to be known as career development specialist,
Right.
what me walking my dog really doesn't matter to you.
Unless that's part of the branding.
Absolutely. But if it's not, then it's kind of like, oh, she posts random stuff here and there.
Right.
And maybe once a month I might give you a tip on a resume. Maybe, once a month I might jump onto the live and talk to you about your interview, but everything else is pretty sporadic. You see me go on vacation
Right.
here and there. So my social media then becomes something where it's like, oh, she does whatever. She kind of does, career stuff here and there, but that's not going to be my go-to spot.
Okay.
So when you think about, at least for me, when I started thinking about content creation, I wanted my page to be the go-to spot. If you had a question about this, oh, let me go to Mel's page because I know I'll find something about that.
When you say Mel's page, you're talking about which platform?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
Okay, cool.
And then I have my website as well. So the thing about social media is like there's so many different platforms. It's like I'm not sure where to go. So I really focus on the places that give me the most engagement, and I find that to be Instagram and LinkedIn.
Okay. Okay, so how often are you posting? I guess give me some information on your process. Are you Buffer? Are you Hootsuite? Like what's your setup? Are you 12 o'clock? On the dot, 12:01 kind of thing, or you know what I mean?
I do use Hootsuite. I
Word.
think Hootsuite is definitely a great platform when you don't have time and you're trying to be prepared. I work full time, so I can't be on my phone 24/7. So I found that in the beginning of my business, I was trying to follow that advice as far as like posting content every day.
Right.
I'll
Bring you up.
oh.
You're good. Because I want them to hear you.
So I was posting every day.
Right.
But then, like I said, I didn't have a strategy. So I started to feel very burnt out in the sense that I didn't know what else to talk about next.
Right.
What did people want to see from me? And so then I kind of took a step back and stopped posting and regrouped. And now at this point, I blog once a week and I post maybe like once or twice a week. But my content is very thoughtful. Like I really give you value, and that's what I focus on. Like I'm not going to post a quote or, scripture, which I think is definitely great. But I feel like it's what you post underneath it. What kind of thoughts do you have? People want to get to know you.
Right.
And the more that you're vulnerable and you expose yourself in a strategic way, because I don't
Absolutely.
think you should be putting out all your business out there.
Absolutely.
That people are more engaged. So me posting once or twice a week, I find way more engagement throughout the rest of the week than I did when I was posting every day.
So once or twice a week. So you're doing like what, Tuesday, Thursday kind of thing?
Yeah, Monday, Wednesdays.
Okay.
And then if you feel like, you still want people to be a part of your lives, at least with Instagram, I find that Insta stories really help with like the day-to-day or some of your thoughts or quick messages that you want to put out there.
Very cool. Okay, so in terms of, so let's go back to the walking the dog kind of branding stuff. Do you post anything as it relates to your life or in moderation, or do you make sure that you have do you have two Instagrams, or you incorporate everything into the main?
That's something I struggled with is, do I want a separate business account for my personal?
Yeah.
One thing is that and I'm kind of going off topic.
That's fine.
So
That's all right.
As you're starting your business, and we spoke about this today, it's like you can kind of get caught up in paralysis. It's like,
Right.
I want this perfect
Perfection.
thing. Here's my perfect plan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to follow it from A to Z. And until you've planned out A to Z, you don't even take step A. You know? And so I just felt like with my business when I started it, a lot of things I didn't like about it, you know?
Such as
the name, Career Moves with Mel. I just felt like, I'm not sure if that's really me. But to this day, I'm into my business a year later.
Who picked the name? How did the name come about?
I did.
Okay, sweet. Sweet. Okay.
I did.
So how do you feel about the name now? Because I definitely want 360 view of
I'm
that.
still not 100% sold on it.
Okay.
It is what people know me for, and I'm okay with that. But I just knew I wanted my brand to speak to my whole entire life. I wanted to be holistic in a sense that, because that's what I talk to my clients about.
Got it.
Is that what you pick as a career is not something that you do 9 to 5.
Right.
It's about your passions. It's about your skills and your gifts. So if you don't feel that great about marketing or you don't feel that great about finance, why are you even doing it? If you feel like you got to bring another person to work, why are you doing that? Why can't I be myself authentically 24/7?
Right.
So I feel that when it came to like posting personally on with my brand, like what's important to me, of course, career development, my faith is very important to me because that dictates how I move in my job.
Right. And you are, when you say faith.
Oh, I'm Christian.
Okay.
I
Sweet.
am Christian.
Sweet. You love
And
Jesus.
I love the Lord, man.
There
He
you
changed
go.
me,
All right
and he
now.
saved
Don't
me.
start preaching up in this pace. Preach about Jesus up in this piece.
And that's real because
Right.
depending on where you are in your faith and in your walk, sometimes you feel like you got to hide your faith when you get to work. And I knew I couldn't do that because of how much the Lord has changed me and transformed my life. That, nah, this is me. You're going to get these scriptures when I walk in the office. And we're
Absolutely.
talking about real estate. It is what it is. And then I just felt like, family was important to me. My friends were important to me. And just being positive and encouraging people. So those are like the main themes that you'll see on my page, from my Insta stories, even on my LinkedIn. I started realizing that LinkedIn is a professional platform. You talk about, what's trending, sales, marketing, whatever. But when I started to post some of the encouraging things, that people weren't once again engaging. So it kind of, let me know I was on the right path, that, there really is no on and off switch when it comes to your life, or even segments of your life. Like, it all comes together.
Okay, so talk to me about work-life balance, because everyone has a different philosophy as it relates to work-life balance, right? So what does that mean to you? Like, when you're not doing the IG stuff and you're not at work,
Right.
so now you have some recreational activities that you like.
Right.
So what do you like, Mel? What you into? You
Well,
write, sing.
I wish I could sing. The Lord.
You probably
knew-
could sing. If you ask for it, you probably get the gift.
knew certain gifts He doesn't give you because you're gonna act a fool.
Because I asked for prophecy and I got it.
Did you?
Yeah,
How's
and
that
it
been working
scares
out?
me.
Mm-hmm.
Scary.
Mm-hmm.
So you can ask for it.
I could, but you also want to ask for me. I ask for things that I know is going to benefit other people, not necessarily me.
Very cool.
Because the things that benefit me do make me happy, but don't necessarily make me fulfilled all the time.
So what makes you happy, Mel? Where are we at?
Where are we at?
Yeah.
So let me go back to work-life balance, because it
Word.
probably will fill in, the blanks there.
Okay.
I've gotten older that I realize work-life balance doesn't necessarily exist.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just go through certain phases in your life where something becomes more of a priority than other things. And that's just what it is, Like, there's no way that you can give 100% to two things at once. It's not going to happen.
Because
right?
priority is really one thing.
Is one thing,
Right.
And I think is, one, accepting that, and then two, prioritizing what is important right now. And if you have a business and you have a 9-to-5 that you love, what is important right now? So I'll go through phases, like a lot of businesses work in quarters. When it comes to reporting season, you're not going to see me post as much on my Instagram or my LinkedIn. Like, it's definitely possible, but I know that I have a threshold, because self-care is important to me, that I'm not going to burn myself out. Because if I try to be 100% at work, 100% in my business, to my clients, you're just not going to see me.
Okay. Self-care. As soon as you said that, I was thinking about food. What are you eating? Are you a coffee drinker? Tea?
Yeah.
What's your thing?
I love me some coffee every day.
Sweet.
I have me a cup of coffee. And that just honestly becomes a part of my devotion. I make my cup of coffee. I have my scripture. I have my journal that I write in. And that's usually what my mornings look like.
Got bees flying around, so I may be swinging at them.
Right.
So don't mind that.
So, but self-care has become this thing of, it's not even like spas and treating yourself, and absolutely do that. Like, if you want to go out to eat by yourself, like, I'm single, so I've learned to do a lot of things by myself.
Why are
that
you
I
single?
absolutely enjoy.
Why are you single?
That is another topic.
What's going on here? Why
But-
are you single, Mel? Okay, so fair enough. We
But-
might do part 2. Find out why Mel's single. Still,
But self-care is
toxic relationships. Can't do that.
It can't. Mm-mm.
Can't do that.
Absolutely
right?
not.
Association is key. That kind
Absolutely.
of a thing. Okay.
But no, self-care is, I found that self-care is really those quiet moments you spend to yourself.
Okay.
And really quiet yourself, really center yourself, and really try to hear what God is telling you.
Okay.
Because we do a lot of ripping and running, and for the sake of looking like we on the grind and trying to hustle and stuff,
Word.
that we don't even know who we are. And you ask me, what makes you happy? For a long time, I couldn't even answer that question for you, because I was so used to looking like I was busy. And granted, I was. Like, I was in ministry, I was serving, I was, hanging out and doing all these things. And I couldn't even tell you what makes me happy. And I realized that, today, the simplest things make me happy. Chilling with my nieces, being able to hang out with my friends, because I've been very blessed that I have a core group of friends that, really feed my spirit, and I do the same for them, and it's not getting mixed up in, achievement and goals and all that stuff. And that's absolutely great. But I'm getting older, and I'm realizing that time is so valuable that I want to spend it with the people that I love.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we got to kick it like this. We got to do something like this. You know what I mean? Because we'll never get a day like this back.
Right.
If Jesus comes back tomorrow, and I didn't get to edit this and give it to the people.
Let's be real. Like, we're all going to pass.
Right.
And at my funeral, I hope people aren't talking about my Instagram posts.
Right.
I'm really hoping that they speak about how I really affected their lives and really, brought positivity to them.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So mostly, from what I gathered, I could be completely wrong. Most of your Instagram has been, pictures and stills,
Yeah.
right? And one of the things I definitely want to, capture, and we could probably wrap up in a few. What are we looking at? What are we looking like? Okay, yeah, about five. Maybe 5 minutes or
Okay.
less. We can wrap up because I know you probably got, busy things that you probably taking care of. What is the thing that you want people to know about you that they are probably not getting from your post, because your post is mainly the branding of the business?
Right. That I'm flawed, and like my life is not picture perfect. Definitely deal with some insecurities, but the difference and the thing that I always try to instill as like the theme is that you still do things in spite of. Like, yeah, I may be fearful, but I'm still going to do it in spite of my fear. Like, I don't have all the money, but I'm still going to, accomplish XYZ in spite of what my bank account looks like. And so there's no perfect time. There's no I'm absolutely ready, because if I ever waited to be absolutely ready, or like my name, Career Moves with Mel,
Word.
let's be real, I wouldn't have started it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're a year later into it,
Right.
But the only way you get to know yourself and learn yourself and grow yourself is through action. And you got to constantly be doing and constantly be pushing yourself. And he's probably looking at me side eyes, because for a long time he's been telling me
what have I been saying for a long time? Because you leaning there, you feeling yourself right now, Mel, and I love it. So what have I been saying?
he has been asking.
Maybe I
that.
should just leave the shot so you can talk. You know what? I'm gonna leave the shot real quick. I ain't editing this. Go ahead, talk to him, Mel. Go talk to him.
He has been telling me that I need to get on video a whole lot more. And to be honest, with pictures and businesses, it's so easy to hide behind your brand. But the only way you build community is by bringing yourself 100%. And a lot of times pictures can't do that.
That's right, Mel.
Let's be real. Pictures really can't do that. I like to say that I'm a great writer, and I think that you can definitely feel how I feel, but there's a different interaction and different emotion that comes.
We're gonna videographer this joint real quick.
There's a different emotion that comes when you get to see me and you get to see my facial expressions, and
Absolutely.
you can actually see what actually hits me. Like, career development is everything to me. Like, I'm particularly passionate about Black millennial women, because I knew growing up, or even picking my own career, Black women, in leadership was so inspiring to me. And the fact that now within corporate America, we have 0 female Black CEOs, that trips me out. So if I can't be the Black female CEO, I'm definitely going to coach somebody else into that position. But
Look at her go. I love it.
But I just feel like the only way we're going to get there is, yes, through hard work, but also through authenticity. And you get that through video.
I love it. I love it, Mel. I love it. Okay,
Thank you
culture.
guys for the revelation.
Culture stuff. What you listening to lately? What's on your playlist? Who you like?
The Carters, Everything Is Love.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
that-
What else you got going on? I got Meek in my joint.
I haven't listened
Oh,
to it.
Meek. Oh my
And-
gosh. Meek is motivation to me.
I mean, he is.
I mean,
So,
crazy
I'ma
for me.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm on, and
What
I
you on?
think, I mean, gospel is definitely always on my list, but I go through seasons. It's the summertime, and
Right,
I'm
right,
Caribbean
right.
and Haitian, so right now you're hearing a lot of soca, a lot of compa, a lot of reggae, dancehall. That's all of that is in my playlist.
Word.
The reason that I love the Carters, Everything Is Love, is that once again, like, they were picture perfect.
For a while,
like,
yeah.
for a long time, and they worked hard, they hustled. You couldn't say nothing about their work ethic. And then the fact that they opened themselves up to being vulnerable and saying, like, yo, it ain't what you thought it was.
Mhm.
I think that was real for me, where it's like, yo, I could still have my stuff together and still go through stuff. That
Word.
does not make me weak.
That's right.
And Everything Is Love is kind of like coming over that thing of accepting that you went through some stuff, accepting that you didn't make the best, choices,
Mhm.
and being like, I'm still good.
Word.
Like Beyonce said, I can't believe we made it.
Word. That's your main joint right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard of Nipsey Hussle, right?
Absolutely.
You heard any of his joints?
Nipsey is.
Nipsey's dope.
Nipsey's
Nipsey's
hard,
dope.
yeah.
There's some people coming up. Rhapsody. You like her joints?
No, I haven't heard of her.
Woo!
So I got some work to do.
Rhapsody is dope.
I got some work
She has an
to
album
do.
out already, right now.
And it's the other thing.
What's his name? Pusha T. You do any Pusha T stuff?
I did Pusha T when he was Clips.
Okay.
I loved.
He was Clips?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
They were a group, him and his brother.
Yeah, the two cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that was. I didn't know. Wow. Okay. All right. So Pusha T, Nipsey Hussle.
Right now, as much as I'm a music head.
Mm-hmm. 90s stuff, or you go back?
Oh yeah, 90s. But other thing is that I realize that my time is short.
Mm-hmm.
So what I consume, I'm very particular of. So podcasts are a big thing for me. Audio books.
Who you listening to? What podcast you on?
I believe Miley Till, she has a podcast called My Taught You.
Okay.
Think and Grow Chick is a good one.
Okay.
I want to say her name is Courtney Sanders.
Like a spinoff, Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
That's dope.
And then I do like to listen to some things that aren't necessarily professional or personal development. There's a podcast called You Had Me at Black, which is pretty much short stories. But these short stories are so funny, so touching. And just honestly, any and every kind of story you can think of.
That's good. Joe Budden podcast. You listen to Joe? Joe, I'm a fan.
I mean, Joe's cool.
Brilliant Idiots.
So I have a lot. No, the thing is, it's like there's so much content. Here's the thing: there's so much.
Breakfast Club
content.
got their joint.
Ebro
in the Morning got his joint.
But look at that. There's so much content out there. You got to pick and choose what you want to listen to. And when you're producing content, you want it to be to a core audience, a core community, and make sure that you're really, catering towards them.
Okay, so my question to you right there: Are listening to those content, is it inspiring you to potentially do your own podcast, or is that something that you're thinking about? Or
I don't know. It depends. Do the people want a podcast?
Do the people want a podcast? People, hit them comments. Let them know. What's up?
I think podcasts are definitely a great way to capsule what you're going through. Aside from a journal, I'm a huge writer. I have tons of journals, but it'd be great to kind of do it in a different way.
Okay, so a couple of things on the female side. Favorite lipstick brand?
Ooh.
I know you didn't see that one coming. I didn't either.
So
I didn't either. It's just might as well ask because she's here. Makeup.
Okay.
Lipstick.
So I'm going through a phase where I don't like to spend that much money on makeup. It's unreasonably expensive because there's so much that goes into it. So lipstick, I do lipstick a lot. Bite Cosmetics is a good one.
Okay.
I'm willing to try a bunch of different ones, so just let me know.
Okay. Makeup.
Honestly, CoverGirl. I'm actually trying to try this new foundation, Too Faced. And the only reason I'm trying them, content creation. And there's a vlogger that I follow called named Jackie Ina.
Okay.
And she partnered with them to deepen their shades of foundation towards black women.
Word.
And I'm willing to buy the foundation based off of her.
Okay.
Because I've been following her for years, and she's been A1 with her recommendations on makeup and just her personality in general.
Word.
That even if the foundation doesn't match me, I'm still willing to buy it because of her.
Okay. Clothing brand favorite, or do you care?
I don't care.
You don't care?
Whatever looks good.
Okay.
These days I'm really wearing a lot of work and professional wear. So that's what my closet is full of. This is actually my work shirt, and I paired it with some jeans.
Word.
And that's another part of my blog where it's I don't want people to feel like when you go to work you have to stifle your style. So you don't necessarily have to wear a suit. You can bring in color, you can wear bright lipsticks, and you just make it appropriate to what you are and what your environment is.
Okay, one tip you want to tell the people who are doing their businesses, and then plug your stuff, and we out of here.
Sure. One tip is just do it. Whatever it is, just do it. So if you're thinking about starting your business, just buy the domain name at least. I think that we kind of skip over the smaller steps and thinking I don't have the money, I don't have the followers. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Hey, listen. This is why we do this, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're here.
So I sit in on, I've gone to a lot of conferences and seminars, and people always say, how do I grow my following? It doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers if you can't even influence one of them. And the other thing is that just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you have a lot of sales. So if you can focus on the one person, serving the one person and giving them $1 million service or $1 million product, at least looking at them that way, you'll be able to duplicate that to 2 followers, 10 followers, 100. And all of that takes time. So perfect what it is that you're trying to do, but just step out on faith and just do it. And that's what I'm going to leave you with.
I love it. I love it. Plug your stuff. Where they can find you. What website you got?
Sure. So website is www.careermoveswithmel.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn is @MelissaFleuryInc. melissafleury.com. Excuse me, at Melissa Fleury Inc.
All right. I feel it. See, it wasn't so bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
All right, guys, we out. Thanks for watching.
All right, bye.